So let's just start off with a broad question. What is reporting and what is insights?
That's a good place to start. And I would put that there's probably a third tier as well. And I think oftentimes that's where it starts to bleed over into what is analysis, what is insights, what is commentary. So from a reporting standpoint, we look at it as what are the things that we need to understand in order to operate the day to day. It's kind of like your dashboarding, but at a layer down where you may need a little bit more insight, a little bit more weight to the data. So if we look at the hierarchy, I think of kind of dashboards like the dashboards on your car. What are the few key metrics I need to make sure that I get from point A to point B? And that's where I think a lot of companies trip up is, and I think we've talked about it before. We worked with this company that said, hey, we're having a hard time getting people to actually read our dashboards. I'm like, well, talk to me about what you're doing. It's like, well, we send them out every day. And it's like 18 pages long of this like massive Excel spreadsheet with 86 different measures on. I'm like, that's not a dashboard. What the hell? Like, no wonder they're not looking at. So if we look at the hierarchy, dashboard is like your very distilled metrics of the critical things you need to get from point A to B. Am I going to run out of gas? Am I going too fast and going to get a ticket? Is my engine overheating? Reporting is going to take it a level down from there in order for us to understand a bit more insight into some of those key measures. So think about, I'm on a road trip and my check engine light comes on. So I pull into the AutoZone and grab their computer and slap it on my car. It's like, oh, air code XYZ means that, you have an engine overheating problem, and kind of giving you some more detail around that. So, oftentimes we look at reporting as dashboarding, where we send out the reporting on a cadence and we expect people to look at it and consume it, but they don't, right? So if you think about just your day-to-day life, do you get reports and consume it? I'm trying to think where I get reports a lot. For me, it's from my bank. It's like
Yeah.
if you've ever bought, whether it's your savings account or if you have an investment. We have a 401k through 33.6, so you get stuff from there based on which securities or what investments you've purchased. I get reports from them all the time, but to me it just doesn't mean anything because it's on this cadence. And it's like, okay, a report to me would be more meaningful if something happened. Something went up, something went down. Here's the details on what happened. But where it's on this cadence, where we're treating it like a dashboard, it oftentimes gets ignored. I don't know about you, but this, report comes, said, here's the monthly, shareholders report on XYZ stock you own. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, toss it. Goes right in the shredder, out in the trash bin if it's a digital copy. So let's talk about what reporting should be and then how it starts to move down that path of insights. Again, I struggle with reporting being on a cadence of like, you get this every day. Now it can be on a cadence, but something more meaningful around why we're consuming it and taking the time to then say, this isn't just something for us to look at and say, oh, that's neat. It really needs to be combined with some sort of insight. And this is where we see a lot of companies struggling is they provide what they call commentary. I don't know if you've heard that term or you've seen it before, but
I've seen
it's,
it. Yeah.
hey, let's put together a report in Google Analytics. And before we send it out to stakeholders, we'll put some commentary on it. Hey, you'll notice here that conversion rate went up by 0.5%. Really what commentary is just that, right? There's not a lot of depth of insight into why. It's just kind of pointing out what may be the obvious. Hey, this went up, this went down. You may want to look into that deeper. What really needs to happen in these cadences of reporting is going from commentary to insight. And what insight is really starting that analytical process to ask and answer questions of, okay, we see that the conversion rate, week over week or month over month, whatever our reporting cadence is, went up 0.5%. Why did that happen? Oh, well, by the way, we ran this marketing campaign, or we just rolled out a new design to the, booking funnel, or, and so then it starts to get into that path of moving from just observations to actually starting to provide some reasons behind why the data is the way it is.